Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Healthy Living event sponsored by the Juice Plus community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Carol Turnbow. I'm a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. I'm also a wife, a mom, a mama. That's my favorite job. I am a CrossFit coach. I'm a CrossFit Masters athlete, but my passion is nutrition. I love teaching people that food really can heal the body. Tonight, you are going to be hearing from myself and some of my teammates. We've all joined on a mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And I'm going to start tonight by introducing our product line. Our product line is simple and will continue to be simple because it's food. It's food that our body needs on a daily basis. Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and it's an amazing concept. I'm going to start by showing you our fruit, our vegetable, and our berry blend. They're red, green, and the purple bottles. In these, they were 100% plant-based all the way down to the capsule. They're better than organic, non-GMO, picked at the peak of ripeness with an NSF seal of approval. And what that means that what is in the product is on the label. So for instance, this is our fruit blend. Probably can't read it, but I'm going to read it for you. Our label has apple, peach, cranberry, orange, papaya, cherry, pineapple, prune, date, and beet. My favorite part of our label is this right here. It's a nutrition label. Like I said, Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Only a whole food can carry a nutrition label. We also have our full spectrum of plant-based omegas in our orange bottle. We all know that we can get omega-3s from fish. Well, Juice Plus has cut out the middleman. It cut out the fish. It went straight to what the fish eat to get their omegas, which is algae oil. So we have a 100% plant-based product all the way down to the capsule as well, tapioca capsule with 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, full spectrum of plant-based omegas. Like I said, it's got algae oil, tomato seed oil, pomegranate seed oil, and more. We also have our complete protein powder. Once again, a vegan product in chocolate and vanilla. These things are amazing. I drink one every single morning, swallow my capsules, and it's just a great way to start your day. We also have complete protein bars, and we have a tower garden. It's an aeroponic growing system where you can grow your vegetables, your herbs. I've grown like peppers and cucumbers and tomatoes, anything you can imagine that you can grow outside, you can grow on your tower garden. It can grow inside with LED lights. It can grow outside. I live in Indiana, so I have about 4 months where it's outside, but for the rest of the time it's sitting in my hallway, and I just walk from my kitchen to my hallway and I have fresh herbs and lettuce all year round. It's one of my favorite things, so I love my tower garden. Tonight we have an amazing lineup of speakers, and Debbie Gross has brought her team of speakers along with her tonight to share their Juice Plus product stories and their business stories, and I'm excited to have them on board. Debbie, you can go ahead and unmute, and I will let you share your story, and then you can introduce your team.
Well, thank you, Carol. I'm really excited to be here with our team. Our team is called Life Changers, and I've got 4 of our team members on with me tonight. I'm going to start off by sharing my story, and then I'm going to introduce them one at a time. You know, death changes things. It changed everything for me. The death of my sister at 56 to cancer came so suddenly and unexpectedly. She was well one day and in the hospital the next day, dying. She was gone in 2 months. For the first time in my life, I got off the treadmill of my fast-paced life and slowed down completely. My mind and heart became wide open and listening to whatever God was saying to me. It was not long after that I met Arleta Winston. She's an amazing woman who was mentoring pastors' wives, and her husband was a physician. We became good friends, and in the process, she shared Juice Plus with me. Now, I'd heard of Juice Plus before, but my heart and mind weren't open at the time. And now I was in a different place, and I was really ready to listen. I said yes to the product because it really made sense to me, and I knew I needed more fruits and vegetables, and I needed to practice prevention. And I said yes to the business because I wanted to spend more time with Arleta. I really had low expectations and little confidence in myself to do this business, but I was an achiever, and I usually don't quit easily. So I didn't know that day how much the course of my life was going to change by this one decision, but I'm going to share with you some of these changes. The first change was in my health. You know, plant nutrition, how important is it? I didn't really understand. I knew, of course, that fruits and vegetables were good for me, but I had no idea how good. You know, it's known today that they are so good for you that they can actually save your life. The cover of Time magazine says that. It was quoted, I think it was 2003 on the front cover. But I was about to find out for myself. I got on the capsules and began to notice pretty quickly that I had more energy for the first time. It really felt great. Then I noticed that my issues with upper respiratory illnesses began to diminish. I rarely got colds now and no more pneumonia and bronchitis. That was my struggle from childhood. I had actually been hospitalized in Nairobi Hospital for a whole week with pneumonia when I was 30 years old. I was very sick at the time and it was a pretty scary experience. But that propensity is gone now. Juice Plus really is my edge. My regular headaches also disappeared and my head just became clearer and my memory sharper. And my issues with irregularity and gut health went away. I've now been on Juice Plus for 12 years and my body handles everything much more easily, including stress. I love that I have this nutritional foundation and these nutrients in my body every day. I don't miss a day. Well, the business. I had no idea that this business would become such a reliable and solid income for us. My husband, Ed, and I had been in ministry all of our lives, which took us many places. I had been a teacher with special needs children, but a year after starting my Juice Plus business, I could walk away from teaching so that I could travel with Ed and to Africa and Europe on short mission trips again. My Juice Plus team and business kept growing, a total blessing and a wonderful surprise. It still continues to grow today and it provides more and more of our income. Now, teaching was not my passion. It was a way to pay the bills. But this business has become my passion and it continues to give us the time and the joy and the money to do what we feel like we're called to do, to go more and to give more. Now, finally, I didn't know how much this business would change me personally. I didn't know I was going to find some of the best friends in my life and how enriched I would be through them, and that I would go beyond where I was in my personal life and overcome many fears and limiting beliefs. I didn't know that I could build a business and become a leader of a growing team. And I didn't know how much I would really enjoy this, learning about health and nutrition and helping people get healthier. I get so much joy from what I do and this positive, healthy community. We are on a mission to inspire healthy living, and we are looking for partners to lock arms with. Now I'm going to pass it on to my friend and colleague, Nienke Izurieta. She is a qualified senior sales coordinator. She is originally from Canada, where she completed her nursing degree. Nienke specialized in open heart surgery, neurosurgery, orthopedics, and trauma, working in London, Ontario, the Netherlands, and the Lehigh Valley. She volunteered with a plane ambulance company, rescuing Dutch citizens from all over Europe, and later helping in Cambodia with the Red Cross in refugee camps with the Canadian surgical team. Nienke is a Dr. Sears certified health coach and lives in the Lehigh Valley with her husband. They have 6 children and several grandchildren in a blended family. Her hobbies are quilting, music, gardening, and traveling. She loves the Juice Plus products and our mission of inspiring healthy living. I'm going to pass it off to you, Nienke.
Okay, thank you. Wow, who is that person when I think about it? I'm going to go back to the days that I was working in the operating room. And I don't know about you, but when you were at work, have you ever had, when you ever think about, do you ever see the end of the list of the to-do list that is on the board? That's exactly how I felt working in the operating room. There was never an end to the list. The scheduled cases, then the add-ons, then the emergencies. And I often wondered, where do all these people or patients come from? Why are they all so sick? And they seem to be younger than years ago. Well, you know, I had my own family health crisis. You see, my mother was not feeling well for about a year when I finally convinced her to come to Canada from to the United States. Within 4 days, I had a diagnosis, pancreatic cancer stage 4. Here was a woman who was rarely sick, maybe a cold now and then, that was it. And she was living a full life with grandchildren, hobbies, gardening, church activities, etc. So I was floored. How could this have happened? My husband and I, we went in overdrive, zeroing in on food, organic food, and juicing, trying to somehow stall this thing plaguing her body. It took 6 weeks and she was passed. She passed on. Her spirit had left her. Trying to process all of this, I had to change my way of thinking regarding health. Because I thought, how long was this thing invading her body? How fast was this thing growing? Why didn't she have any symptoms until stage 3 or stage 4? And what if something like that is growing in my body and I don't feel it? You know, one day I had a conversation with a messenger. She shared with me how the trajectory of her family probably had changed course for the better because they flooded their bodies with these nutrient-dense foods. I was intrigued because, quite frankly, we had slid into our old habits again. But she had invited me to an event somewhere near Philadelphia because there was a doctor from Connecticut to give a talk. She spoke about functional medicine. What was that? How come I had never heard about functional medicine? It did make complete sense, though, getting to the root cause of all chronic illnesses and diseases. So I wanted to ask her a question, but before I could, she asked me, are you taking these nutrient-dense foods, Juice Plus? I said, no, not yet. Then she asked the most important question that vibrated down my spinal cord. Why not? I didn't have an answer. And to this day, I still don't. Why not? I adjusted my food budget because these foods became a priority. You know, this has been the most exciting decision I have done for myself, my family, and my grandkids. It has changed the trajectory of my life because I get to share hope. We have seen changes in our own health picture. I mean, we were not sick, pretty healthy. Yet I had, changes in my cholesterol, a little pink flag, but we have seen changes in the cholesterol, which is now normal. A lower dose to my thyroid medication. Wow, I was amazed. My husband dropped one of his blood pressure meds, and there's better sleep, movement, and energy. And over time, I realized that these foods taken consistently has repaired and supported our immune system. Well, I came to embrace our community because I saw consistency in the message that attracted like-minded thinkers. And so with that, I'm so thankful for these messengers and sharing. They planted a seed of what if it's only food? And down the road, should I become ill, God only knows, there will be no regrets. I or my children will never have to say that I should have. And I certainly came on board with this. So let me introduce to you now our guest speaker, Jessica. Jessica is a mom. She is a mother of 2. She has a bachelor's in science and worked as an environmental scientist for 6 years in New Jersey, and later as a teacher for 10 years in the Broward County school system. That's in Florida. She enjoys gardening. She was drawn to the Juice Plus products and the community. She loves the Tower Garden and is passionate about getting them into schools, now living in sunny Florida with her husband and children. Go ahead.
Thank you, Nienke. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to share my story. If it wasn't for Nienke not giving up on me and my family with Juice Plus, we probably wouldn't be in such a better place with helping our health than today. So that I'm very thankful for. I enjoyed working in the career fields Nienke mentioned, teaching and environmental work to an extent because those were my interests at the time. The problem was I got mentally exhausted with my most recent job, trying to juggle work with home life, and came to face that I wasn't really doing what I wanted to do anymore. And I wanted to be home with my family instead. Well, that came true. And 7 years later today, I have joined a business that helps people while working from home. The past years have not been easy financially, but I'm looking forward to gaining more Juice Plus customers and hopefully my first partner soon. I have been with Juice Plus since March of this year, and I'm enjoying working at my own pace, staying connected with many people, which I kind of lost while not working, but really felt the isolation from people when the pandemic started. I'm now not feeling so isolated, and I'm learning about simple changes for healthier living. And I love so much that I am part of a team that shares and supports. You know, it's really great. I'm experiencing a team and community that embraces. There's a connectedness and a sense of safeness that I always didn't get at my previous jobs. My team has been by my side, helping support me through learning the business to some lifestyle changes I'm making one step at a time. They have been by my side since I quit smoking cigarettes. They have lifted me up with kind words, supporting me in so many ways that help me not feel alone and capable of doing more. I'm also very happy to say my family and I have been taking the Juice Plus Trio for 5 months now. Because I'm concerned about our health and because the products just make sense to take. We were not eating nearly enough fruits and vegetables in a day. And with all our family's health concerns, I saw it as a great way to get extra nutritional support. At 12, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease, which caused my thyroid to become underactive. I've also been diagnosed with clinical depression, am overweight, and have borderline high cholesterol. Within the past 9 months, my husband had his sigmoid colon removed due to chronic diverticulitis complications over the years. Also, my one daughter is with elevated sugar levels now, and the other with ADD. So with all these health concerns coming full force on me and my family, I looked at eating Juice Plus as one of the easiest, simple changes we can make. I could say since taking the trio, no one is experiencing the bowel issues we did before. Our energy is improving. The acne on my one daughter is basically gone, and she's drinking water like she never did before. They are even up for eating more fruits and vegetables than before. So this makes me really happy as a mom. I'm super excited about our tower garden we have at our home. We're growing our favorite produce, different types of lettuce, kale, and basil currently. What my hopes are is to continue reaching out to the local public schools in my area so administrators can hear about this great tool that others are using successfully in schools. Also, I hope to leave a legacy with Juice Plus in my family's life, that no matter what challenges they might have in life, they know God is always by their side, rooting for them and opening doors for a healthier life. Now I'd like to introduce Carla to share her story. She's a senior sales coordinator, a former elementary teacher and homeschooling mom from the Philadelphia area who has enjoyed being a pastor's wife for 40 years. Carla's husband's heart issues drew them to Juice Plus 10 years ago, and she became a partner. She's now on a mission to help people thrive and not just survive spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially. She and her husband are avid gardeners and absolutely love the tower garden. Thank you, Carla, for taking it away.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. And I have to say that my story actually started 13 years ago when a heart catheterization revealed that my husband, who was only 52 at the time, had 2 major heart blockages. And fortunately, they were cared for and he did not have a heart attack. but it was our wake up call. And we knew that we had to do something. And a doctor friend of ours who was studying nutrition at the time told us that studies were showing that a plant-based diet could help prevent and even reverse hardening of the arteries and prevent blockages. And so I have to tell you, we just jumped in and we did whatever we could. We juiced, we started to eat beans instead of meat. We just went crazy because we wanted him to live. And, but I have to tell you that as time went on, fast forward 3 years, well, before that, we just found it too difficult. And we started not to be as consistent. So 3 years later, friends of ours, Debby and Ed Gross, shared with us what Juice Plus had been doing for them. And it just made sense. It made immediate sense because we were trying to get all these fruits and vegetables into us and it was becoming very difficult. But here we could take take these capsules and get 30 plants into our bodies consistently every single day. I mean, it was a no-brainer. And we signed up, and my 95-year-old mother who lived with us got on it as well. And so did my college daughter, who was able to get it for free through the Children's Health Study. And so we began to see some really positive things pretty early on. And especially in my mother, who's 95, two things I'll mention. She had a skin tear that the doctor could not believe began to graft back and heal as quickly as it did. And then her retina specialist saw improvement in her macular degeneration within like 2 months. I mean, I don't mean that it improved, and I don't mean that it was cured, and she was cured, but it did improve. And so that really caught our attention, and it gave my husband belief in the product enough to ask his heart doctor if he could actually go off of his heart medications and just do Juice Plus, and exercise and do the things we were doing. Well, I didn't know he was going to do that. And I was very surprised that the doctor said, okay, but the doctor did. He said, let's go and let's do a 6-month trial. And in every month we'll do blood work to see how you're doing. The first month he was fine. Blood work was great. Second month, before they could do the blood work, he had a major heart attack that led to cardiac arrest and almost lost him. They had to shock him back to life. And, I was beginning to wonder if, about the Juice Plus, but they told me that the Juice Plus was good. He needed it, but he also needed the medicine because of his genetics. But they said that the Juice Plus probably helped him recover from the shocking and recover as well as he did from the heart attack. So things were good and he did recover very well, except for 6 weeks later, he noticed a tightness in his chest. And the doctor said, well, there was another 100% blockage at the time of your heart attack that we did not try to open because the collaterals were carrying the blood around the blockage. But now he said, you're having this problem. We need to go in with the heart catheterization and try to open it. When they got in there, guess what? It was open 10% on its own. And it was now acting like a 90% blockage. And so the blood was having trouble going through. So he just put a stent in there. He opened it up. He said, you're good to go. He said, you have no restrictions. You're good to go. And that doesn't mean that he could go off his medicine. It just meant that he needed, that he was okay. He didn't have to worry. He doesn't live like a heart patient now. This was all these things that were happening to us, because there were other things I won't go into, but this was good news that we knew we needed to share. Now, I had become a partner when we signed up. And I did that because we had been praying for a way to earn extra income, because I had been a stay-at-home mom and ever since my first child was born. And I had an opportunity to work alongside my husband in ministry. It was great, but I was not contributing anything to retirement. And we knew those years were coming. And so we prayed for a way that I could earn extra income and still be home with my mom. Well, Juice Plus was a perfect answer. It gave me the flexibility to care for her as well as earn income. So, it's great because I've been able to develop an income stream for retirement that we also have been able to use now. It's not just like putting money into a savings account. You're building an income stream and you can use it now, but you'll have it going on in retirement. So that was really good. And so anyway, just thankful for the opportunity. For 40 years, I've been caring for people alongside my husband, helping them spiritually and emotionally. But for the last 10 years, I've had a new tool in my toolbox to help people, and that's to help them with their health and with their finances by getting involved with the business. And, you know, as we look forward to retirement in the not too far future, my husband has said to me, you know, I think I'll join you in the business. And I said, yes, I need you to do that. I said, I need a tower garden guy because he's really the avid gardener. He's the one that really enjoys the tower garden, has really been able to help people with it. So our friends, Ed and Debbie, oh, did I tell you they're the ones that told us about Juice Plus? Yeah, I did. Well, you heard from Debbie. Now you're going to hear from Ed. And they've been telling us how much fun they're having in retirement. So I think that's what we want to do as well. But I want to turn it over to Ed now. And let me just tell you a little bit about him. As you know, he's married to Debbie. He's from upstate New York, where his dad was the town dentist. He followed his parents in their call to minister in Africa, where he served as the principal of the Bible College of East Africa. He returned to Philadelphia to finish his doctoral studies, to teach and pastor and begin his publishing career. He has enjoyed a lifetime of participation in sports and still keeps up with tennis and golf. While living in Philadelphia, he enjoyed being a mentor to some of the Philadelphia Eagles, including Reggie White, with whom he did ministry. He has been enjoying Juice Plus since 2009 and joined the team in earnest this year. So Ed, take it away.
Thanks, Carla. And it's really a blessing to be able to join you all tonight, especially my sweetheart. And that's what I want to talk about just for a couple minutes, is the blessing that Juice Plus has brought into my life. Physically, I've been blessed because I had no understanding really of the place that fruits and vegetables and berries had in good health. Once I started ingesting now for 12 years, all these wonderful fruits, vegetables, and berries, I've seen tremendous health reversals, including precancerous polyps and diverticulitis removed. I struggled 12 years ago with some neurological dysfunction that inhibited me from completing complex sentences and being able to think on my feet. I refused to play games like Trivial Pursuit. I was so embarrassed. And that's not really cool when a seminary professor and author, just can't take part in things that take normal mental functions. But this has all been incredibly reversed. And probably my memory now is running at a capacity very near to when I was in college. Tinnitus, that pesky ringing of the ears, ended. My eyesight began to improve. A lot of wonderful health reversals. But probably to me, the most blessed was for 10 years with all the traveling I did around Africa, especially, and into some very remote parts. I just never got sick. And thank God for that. Another aspect of physical blessing, though, was that I was raised in a family of 5 sons, 4 brothers. We were taught to eat everything, and we did, and more. And I was very overweight as a child and didn't understand and was never taught that these fat cells you'd never lose. They would just dry up. But they were always there to be refilled with wrong diet. And it's particularly sugar that pushes fat into fat cells. So whether it's, simple sugars, complex non-complex carbohydrates that turn to sugar, this is all bad. And I struggled with the rest of my family trying to stay under 300 pounds. And now I'm at such a low weight, able to golf. I played tennis 2 hours today and just enjoy a wonderful active life. So Juice Plus has truly been a blessing physically. Financially, Deb helped describe what's happened. As a missionary now for 12 years after being a pastor in Philly, it's not a good time to depend on others for support when the world is filled with fear. Well, Deb's Juice Plus business now produces 2/3 of what we need to live on. So we're able to go wherever God leads us to go. So it's really been a blessing financially. But I want to say as well that it's really been a blessing maritally. Earlier this year, as I was praying, the Lord just put on my heart that I ought to join Deb in this business to whatever degree I can without overlooking my call and ministry. So I began doing this, and it's just been such a blessing to work with Deb and draw closer in that way. Finally, this has surprisingly been a blessing to me spiritually. You know, it was the Apostle John who, when he wrote in 3 John, said this: "Beloved, I pray that all may go well with you, and that you may be in good health as it goes well with your soul." So here's an apostle of Christ who had a holistic ministry involving health concerns. That really freed me up to see that I needed to be more holistic in my approach in ministry. So it really has given me a tremendous breadth spiritually as well. Juice Plus has really been a blessing to Deb and me and all those that are on her team. I hope it'll be an increasing blessing to you. Thanks, Deb.
You guys are so amazing. We are here every Thursday night sharing these stories. You know, you saw tonight how Juice Plus meets the body where it needs to be met. And we also have an amazing business, a company with a heart that we've all joined on this mission to inspire healthy living. So if someone invited you to the call, make sure you get back with them and chat about what you heard tonight. And we are here every Thursday night sharing stories about inspiration of our Juice Plus businesses. Thank you so much.
And Carol, I'm here. I'm